at any stage inform you as to why he himself isolated for 24 hours after he came into the function, shook hands with Adam Marshall, had a conversation
Everybody
with
did.
David Heffernan?
Everybody did. You might have forgotten, Mark. Everybody did. Everybody who was in the Parliament, basically. A Labor, Liberal, I don't know where you were, but let me tell you that this obsession of yours is just getting a little bit too far. If you want me to read out Adam Marshall's tweets or text to me after you sent out a defamatory tweet, which you'll hear about in due course, Adam Marshall gave me very clear on the text that he had advised the journalists who followed up on your stupid tweet that he did not shake hands with me. So, you know what? Wait for your inquiry and wait for the letter from the defamation lawyer. On that note, there'll be no more answers on that.
We'll certainly wait for Adam Marshall to tell me at the inquiry the things that he's also told me.
Mate, I've got it here, and
you want the full.
I'll tell you what, there should be an inquiry into. There should be an inquiry into you.
You want the
You know what the definition of a man is? Someone who doesn't pick on the vulnerable and carry on with obsessions. Go back to anyway.
Order. This is about your behaviour.
You are absolutely, you are absolutely the most inappropriate human being to be in a New South Wales Parliament.
Order.
You know, you couldn't get yourself a position in the federal Parliament, so you got yourself.
Order, Minister. Order.
Three different political parties. A man of principle.
Minister.
Good Lord.
It just exposes your guilt for rorting your own rules. Now, Dr. Chant, to take you to the sequence, early on the morning of 24th...
Wait for your inquiry. Go away.
We've got the contact tracers reporting that Marshall's had direct contact with the Health Minister at the charity event. By the end of the day, they're saying, Kerry, I assume that's you, wants all Parliament-related lists done finalised AM, or as close as possible. That's at 11:10 p.m. on the 24th. So something happened on the 24th whereby Musto was allocated to do this...
Dr. Musto to you.
Individual assessment.
Dr. Musto.
Order.
Dr. Musto.
Did you appoint Jenny Musto or ask her to do the
Dr.
assessment?
Musto.
All I can talk about is the usual process whereby I would delegate when matters have happened in relation to a variety of needs to do assessments. That would be allocated to staff either within the ministry or within our public health unit network, and that is appropriate. So if there are issues where the staff would have just been following normal processes for contact tracing.
Well, the normal process seemed to be Jenny Heads doing the assessment of Speakman, Correa, Catley, Barr, and the list goes on of MPs. Who appointed Jenny Musto to do the assessment of the minister?
I can't recall the exact processes of it or don't have that information, but there is a variety of teams. I don't even know who was on duty at the time, but there were a number of key staff, and it is appropriate that a variety of different staff would have been involved in various aspects of it. In terms of Michael Douglas was overseeing the whole process in relation to the contact tracing, and as I said, I have no information that's been presented to me that otherwise a very straightforward process and an appropriate process was followed. Mr. Lathan, I can assure you of the integrity of the two staff members involved.
How many other individual assessments of MPs did Jenny Musto undertake?
I don't have that information.
Ms. Pearce, do you know who appointed or asked Jenny Musto to do the individual assessment that came up in this belated...
No, I don't.
No? Nobody recalls. Minister, you must... have some idea of...
What I have an idea about is you're obsessed and you're quite mad. And I have a text here that says, I do not recall Minister Hazzard and I shaking hands, and that is from Adam. Can I point out to you, you are really quite silly. On the 2nd of March, I was the minister who actually first told people not to shake hands. Have a look in the media. I wasn't shaking hands with anybody. I tell you what, I won't be shaking hands with you at any stage.
Well, nobody's asking you to, but you can answer some questions. Why did you isolate for 24 hours?
Because everybody you twit, everybody was told...
Minister, we don't refer to...
Well, he is a twit. Everybody
Minister, you know better than that.
Everybody was told to isolate in the first 24 hours. Whoever had any likely, possible, vague... I don't know why, but we were given those directions, and that was a health issue. It was run by the doctors. And then eventually, as they got the time to go through what was a very large group of people in the Parliament that had been put on close contact initially, as they went through them, they then became casual contacts. And apparently, that's what happened with me. But you know what? You are just obsessed. You are crazy. You shouldn't be in this Parliament.
Well, Adam Marshall has said you've ordered your own rules,
Oh,
and that's
rubbish.
been confirmed by witnesses.
Rubbish.
David Heffernan was there, Richard
Right,
Walsh was there, a number of your now cabinet colleagues were at the function, all saw what happened, and say this guy, Brad Hazard,
You are
his
a
own
twit. You know what?
Now, why can't you
Somebody
just
should
own
have
up
an
to that
inquiry
honestly?
into you, because there's lots of things going on that need to be inquired into you.
Minister.
Well, you
We
go for
don't
your,
use the word twit.
go for your life, but this is a question to you. Why haven't you been honest in giving an account of what
You
happened?
are a
You
liar.
walked in
You
at
are
the
a liar.
northern end of the
Order.
function.
You are a liar and an
You,
obsessive.
shook hands with Marshall,
Order.
greeted him, had a conversation.
And no
with
one
him
in
and
this
David
world,
Heffernan.
except your crazy anti-vaxxer friends, thinks you should even be here.
Order.
But news for you.
Minister,
the quicker you go, the
Minister,
quicker. Yes.
Well, you're the one who's going.
returning
You're
back
running
to-
from the building because you know you're a rorter. You know.
Okay,
you're-
order,
what happened
order.
that
You're a
night.
I think
complete flip.
I think we're getting.
You're the
pretty
one
fl-
going.
Order,
I'm not going anywhere.
order.
God help the New South Wales community.
Hang
You
on,
stay
hang
here.
on, please.
Explain. How do you explain Dr. Douglas?
Oh, point of
Order,
order.
there's been a point of order
order.
taken.
Point of
Marshall
order.
had very
Point of
was
order
very
taken.
close to me.
Just
There's been a point of order. The
just
Honourable Mark
disrespecting
Latham.
the chair. All I'm saying is, can we take some heat out of this exchange?
I'd dearly like to do
It's
so.
totally inappropriate for estimates inquiry. We have got an inquiry in the upper house going into this whole issue you want to explore, and I'm not sure that it's productive to be rehearsing the questions here. You're not getting the answers you want, but nonetheless, can we take the heat out of it, Mr. Chair? That's
I
all I'm
dearly
asking
would like to do that, but the reference to people as twits and other names like that
Both directions.
is not helpful.
Well, really,
So-
this question's out of order because it's not in the purview of the
Well, Minister,
estimates.
you don't chair this meeting.
Okay, so you're actually endorsing it.
What I'm
Actually,
saying
you have a
is
good
you
arrangement,
don't
don't you?
you don't
A
chair
lot of
this
money
meeting,
was spent locking people in their homes and saying get vaccinated, otherwise you lose your job. And close contact
Rank
rules
and
enforced,
rancorous.
and the police
rank and
helicopters
rancorous was your
over
Labor
Western
assessment
Sydney.
review.
They're all
Rank
expenditures
and
for
rancorous.
rules
I'd
that
add-
you wouldn't follow yourself.
I'd add a lot more than that, and you've heard them. You're rank and rancorous, and seriously, I couldn't be bothered talking to you. Speaker, Mr. Chairman, unless we're going to go on to something that's actually substantive, then this committee should be terminated.
Well, how
at
does
this
the
point.
Minister explain the record of Michael Douglas saying that Minister
way.
Marshall reports very close to Minister Hazard? I had a conversation before he spoke. How do you explain you ever became a casual contact?
session.
How do you explain the Ops Trello cards that Marshall didn't have contact with the Premier or Treasurer? Seems to have had direct contact with Health Minister at the charity event. Surely, Minister, you knew you were a close contact. And if you had the decency of following your own rules, you would have isolated for the fortnight period instead
You
of
had
having
any
so many of your colleagues complaining to
You
me that
had
you
any-
ordered your own rules.
Order.
Had any
Order.
understanding
I'm into this because
whatsoever
of your
of the
people.
way the health system works. There is no way in the wide world that I would have given any directions on anything. There were assessments made by the doctors, and that's the appropriate course. And you can carry on from here to eternity, but that's the truth. So just drop off.
Can Ms Pearce or Dr Chant take on notice how many other individual assessments Jenny Musto performed on the 24th of June? Because the records seem to indicate there was just one.
I'll undertake to follow up that question, Mr Lathan, and as I said, the process is that available staff are allocated to do the tasks available on particular times, so I'm
And
happy
can you
to
search
take
the
that.
records as to who allocated Jenny Musto to this particular job, please?
I will do my best to provide the information to the committee.
That's the time. Kay Femin.
Thank you, Chair.